going on, everybody? Welcome to another edition of the NBA Slate Starter podcast. I'm Eric, joined with my buddy Ryan as we break down Friday's 7-game NBA DFS slate on DraftKings, FanDuel, and Yahoo. Yeah, so many people were sad. Ryan didn't put up the fingers. I was pretty sad, too. It's nice to have him back doing his thing. That's for sure. Kind of a weird slate today. We lost that night hammer, so it became a 3-gamer. Everything locked. We're all done with the slate. Ryan, how'd it go for you?
I would have liked the night hammer to come in. I thought it would have been a lot of fun to be able to roster different types of studs.
Unfortunately, Kuminga.
Yeah, I was expecting a lineup change there, which would have been nice. But yeah, today was fine. I think a lot of the field had it correct. The field was pretty sharp today. The field got to Wanamaker as Wanamaker was ruled the starter pretty aggressively as well. Kevin Pangos wasn't spectacular. The studs were good. And if you fit in the right value and the winning lineup, you're like, damn, how did I not land on that type of night, right? Small slate, lots and lots of all double-digit owned guys, small game slate, short game slate. It just was like, did you just land on that combination? And that's really what it came down to. I don't think no one really shockingly came out there. We touched on both the Wagners last night. Mo ended up being better than Franz. And
I didn't play one, and I played the other. So there you go. My entire night revolved around a Michigan duo. Shocker.
And then,
by the way, tomorrow's a gigantic day. You ready to go?
I hope my team's ready to go. There's some important news. Waiting on if Daxton Hill is going to play. Stud cornerback for Michigan. But if he plays, that'd be big. But apparently, I've been reading deep into Reddit college football. Apparently, if you guys know who Justice Hill is of the Baltimore Ravens, Daxton Hill is his brother. I believe Justice Hill is in health and safety protocols himself, being on the IR. So it might come down to game day, like game time, if Daxton Hill's going to play. That's my speculation.
Christmas. Their Christmas gathering is what you're getting at.
Mm-hmm. That's what I guess is, but I'm not sure. But I hope he plays. He's a first day NFL pick for sure. And I just hope Michigan gets a dub. I really want to go to the national championship game. Really, really bad. That'd be great. I've been able to witness a handful of basketball ones, but not in person. I will not miss out on the national football championship game if Michigan makes it.
Look at you reporting live, Rayen Patnaik. Channel 7 News, something like that. A little bit of dirt in there. That was really nice and juicy. Again, is it worth something? I mean, it's not going to change the line whatsoever, but I think it's an important cog, you would think, to that defense. Best of luck to you. That's all I wanted to say. And you got very specific. It was great to hear that. We got the tea. All right, let's get to some NBA DFS. Then I had a terrible night tonight, if you couldn't tell. Franz Wagner, too much. Mo Wagner, none. So let's move on to the 7-gamer. Very excited. You ready to get going, my buddy?
Let's ride.
Buddy's acceptable. That's weird. Trae Young, 11-5 on the top end here. Coming off of a game where I would say he burned the universe. I was happy not to be there. He was just really expensive at $11K. Well, coming off of his 45.25, they added another $500 to it. Wright, Bogdanovich, Herter, all still projected to be out. Him and Cam Reddish going to be an interesting bounce back spot here against Cleveland. Cleveland, of course, playing on a back-to-back without Ricky Rubio. Pangos going to be running around there trying to guard one Trae Young. So 11-5 for him probably seems appropriate, but looks pretty gigantic. Damian Lillard, this Portland Lakers game should be moving. I think on the other side of that, Russell Westbrook at 10-7 looks pretty fascinating as well. Then Fred VanVleet, he's got the Q tag next to him. Looks as though he's going to be good to go now, but at 9,800, there's not a chance in God's green earth I'm going to play him. I will say, though, Donovan Mitchell coming back himself, now that we have this shortened amount of time and he didn't travel with them, it was a back issue that we had with Donovan Mitchell, 9,700 against Minnesota, another great game environment, but the guy who's the crown jewel, I think, of the top end, our boy Ja Morant, who did not disappoint us after we rostered a bunch. 36 minutes, 66 fantasy points, 41 and 10 is a nice number. He is the man against the Spurs. I don't know if you have to look elsewhere. Talk to me about the top end of card.
Yeah, Ja Morant's a stud. I think he's still a little too cheap, even with that price going up. Love the $9,600 price tag. And another, I expect Van Vliet. Nick Nurse did lie to us the other day, I think, saying the starters will be limited in coming back from health and safety protocols, but $9,800 Van Vliet just is too expensive. Donovan Mitchell is fine, $9,700 against a depleted Minnesota team. I think Dame Lillard is excellent at 10-9. He hasn't been a great Dame Lillard explosion game can definitely be certainly on top of that price tag. Trae Young is pretty expensive at 11,500. I'd rather save the $600 outright and go to Dame. Russ Westbrook, we know his triple-double upside, and that's the only upside he really has right now in terms of basketball. Man, it was really hard to see Russ in that Memphis game after such a great game against Houston. It's just the inconsistencies, I guess, that drive people nuts about Russ. Looking down the list here,
he did have a triple-double, to be honest, and to be fair, like from a fantasy perspective.
Yeah.
He had a triple-double. 50 fantasy points isn't good, but like he was hacking, he was turning the ball over once again. He actually had more turnovers against Houston than he did against Memphis. It's just you don't get the Russ, and you can see it. Like you can just see that Russ was just not even relevant against Memphis. You're right.
And I completely agree with what you have to say there. I think spending down, there's going to be a handful of value options that opened up. Potentially, if SGA is ruled out, it might open up some OKC value. Ty Jerome exploded the other night. That could potentially be an option. But I believe Lou Will can return for this Atlanta team. He's the min at 3K. I would rather see Lou Will minutes than Skylar Mays minutes, but we'll never know what that looks like. We are going to potentially deal with Rondo joining the Cleveland Cavalier team tomorrow once he clears COVID protocol potentially. But Kevin Pangos will be in play yet again at $3,500. It's ugly, but it's value that we're looking for. It's just the nature of what we're dealing with right now. Duncan Robinson entered health and safety protocols, if I'm not mistaken, today. Yep. I don't know if Miami's going to have enough players to play tomorrow. It's going to be bleak, but Caleb Martin is someone that we should be considering. He might have to play 48 minutes outright against Houston at $4,300.
Listen to this creative player. I'm going to grab him here because I know they just signed a human being I've personally never heard of, and I'm curious if you have too. Where did he go? I know that
they signed Mario Chalmers.
They did sign Mario Chalmers. Mario Chalmers literally is getting off the street in like a very real way and showing up and playing there. But yeah, Rajon Rondo expected to be traded to the Cavs. Did that officially go through, by the way?
I believe so once he clears protocol, yeah.
Okay. I can't even find this guy again with Duncan Robinson there, but I know that they added another guy that was just like the most made up.
Paris Bass?
That is the one. Who is that?
I don't know. It's a fish and a very popular city in the world combined together.
Oh, man. Going to the card spot on FanDuel.
But Paris Bass signed with Phoenix and not Miami, actually.
Okay. Yeah, it's a different guy then. There was a name that I saw get signed. Yeah, but Paris Bass is going to be playing for the Suns. So there you go. There's that. I don't know where it went. It might have disappeared. I know for a fact that they signed some random creative player. There are too many alerts coming in. I'm not going to lie.
Hayward Highsmith?
That was it. Hayward Highsmith.
Yeah, he did.
Make believe. It's a make-believe name.
He was actually with the 76ers earlier in his career, if I'm not mistaken. So
Harris Highsmith, you said that was the name?
Mm-hmm. And I think that Nick sounds like a lie when you're also signed with the Miami Heat.
That was another one. I was going to say Michigan. Let's go.
Yeah. And who else? They'll have enough bodies, I think, tomorrow with all these 10 guys coming into town.
Yeah, I saw that they had a number of guys coming in. Yeah, exactly. Mario Chalmers, Nick Stauskas. What up? That'll be fun. And then no, it sounds like a lie that you would say where it's like when you're in high school and you're out late or whatever. And my parents are like, who are you hanging out with? And it's definitely your girlfriend. You're like, I was hanging out with my buddy. And they're like, who's your buddy? Harris Highsmith. There he is. It's the lie. Thanks for reacting to my joke. Russell Westbrook, 9,800. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, 9,400. He has game time decision here. Jimmy Butler, 9K. I believe he's questionable as well here. I mean, if he suits up, you want to fire a lot at 9K. That would be fun. John Morant, 9,300. Looks very, very nice. Damian Lillard, 9,100. No way I'm playing a 9K Fred VanVleet first game back here. Kevin Porter down there at 7K. It's interesting because you have Trae Young at 9,700. I don't know what else you're supposed to do. You just play Trae Young at 9,700, right?
Yeah, you're going to kind of force your hand into doing so. I mean, FanDuel took the night off to increase
but they
Trae Young's.
still posted their contest 3.5 hours later, which is why we're recording this at 10:50 p.m. your time.
Yeah.
For you. I'm sorry. Continue.
But you play him, but I think I would rather even be willing to save $600 and go to Dollar Dame, or even save $400 and go to Ja Morant. That's how I feel about the point guard position on FanDuel. Depending on ownership, I mean, yeah, it's fine to go to Trae Young at that price tag. He definitely projects very nicely, but I like those other two guys as well quite a bit. Don Mitchell, sub 9K, point guard, shooting guard. He's going to have some ownership with him if he's full go. Zach LaVine, sub 9K as well. We know he's loves taking those shot attempts, and it's just pick your poison in Chicago. I mean, usually it's a 4-headed monster. Now it's just a 3-headed monster. We've seen games where all three are good. Very rarely does that happen. One of those three guys are going to be good. In the matchup versus Indiana, we saw the ball handling guys of like LaMelo Ball and Terry Rozier carve off this Indiana team. So I can definitely see LaVine, Kobe White, or DeRozan have their fair share of fantasy value in a matchup versus Indiana.
Is the Knicks rotation the dumbest thing you've ever seen in your entire life against Detroit? Because I don't really even know how to assess it. Kemba Walker only played 20 minutes in that spot, and they won by 9, close game. Quentin Grimes started the game, played 13 minutes, went 0 for 5, never really came back out for any kind of meaningful run.
Evan Fournier didn't play.
I know he didn't, but that's what I'm getting at, is that if Evan Fournier, who's questionable, doesn't play again, do we do anything with this Knicks team? It is so frustrating. And obviously, Alec Burks went out and won them a game. They just left him on the floor and just said, hey, go and have fun. But Alec Burks, we can't possibly be relying on him to get that same role again. He's 7,300 on DK, so he's not even remotely in play there. But the reason that I bring him up is that over on FanDuel, he's 5,200. He's like 200 less than Quentin Grimes. He's 300 less than RJ Barrett. He's only $100 more than Quickly. I mean, they put all those guys in that same price tier. And if Evan Fournier is out, don't you want to try to make one of them a thing?
Oh, yeah. You know why, right? Julius Randle's in health and safety protocols.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Time to windmill these Knicks. I think going to Kemba Walker at 6K again on FanDuel makes a lot of sense. So against Oklahoma City, going to Alec Burks makes a lot of sense to me. Even RJ Barrett. Obi Toppin season, we'll touch on him. I think Obi Toppin, I have his debut moment. I want Obi Toppin to drop a 2020 so I can sell that NBA Top Shot, baby. But any NBA Top Shot collectors want an Obi Toppin moment, just let me know. I'm looking to get that off my hands.
I'm looking forward to Shea sitting so that we can just stack up that game and play like every stud. You can just play Trae Young with like 6 players from this game.
Yeah, and another guy we probably should have touched on the DraftKings price tag, Derek White, $6,800.
Yes.
Great price tag. He's not out of play at 8K either on FanDuel. Very low on tournament option. Darren Fox played well last time out. Not well. He played better than he has been. So $7,400 Darren Fox. We know the upside there. Sacramento's just been weird of late. I mean, they're not playing as fast as I thought they would. That might change in a matchup yet again against Dallas.
Yeah, as I said, all those guys on the Knicks are just like in that weird tier. I don't know who I want to have start or who I want to be playing. I'm going to see that starting lineup. I will say regardless of the starting lineup, Alec Burks is probably in play based off of what he just got done doing. Played 26 minutes, put up 47.8. I mean, giving him 30 minutes, 28 minutes isn't unrealistic here in this spot, but something tells me that starting lineup, it's definitely going to have Mitchell Robinson. It's definitely going to see, you're going to see some possibility, like Taj Gibson could step in and start, and that would be the absolute woat. But Alec Burks, outside chance of starting here, I think that would make a lot of sense. Very curious to see what that lineup looks like. I hope it comes out very, very late here. But let's keep it moving here over to our sponsor site, Yahoo, of course, at the guard spot. Trae Young, $45. Ja Morant, $40. Both of those guys about appropriately priced. So well done by them. $38 for Dame. But then Russell Westbrook, he's stuck at that 34, 35 number. And look, I know like it doesn't seem he's not the same Russ, but like legitimately at $35, you don't need much out of him for him to constantly be paying that off. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 games in a row, he's continued to put up over 40. Seems like he's a guy that I could land on at $35 once again, coming off of being 34 forever, and just roster a bunch here as well. So keep on the lookout for that. You know, you don't need to go into this mid tier with Patrick Beverley, Malik Beasley, Clarkson. I don't think that any of those guys really stand out the way they might have on other slates, but these Knicks, man, if you don't have Evan Fournier out there, you should just be jamming these guys, specifically Alec Burks, $16. A lot of these cheap OKC guys as well. Ty Jerome, 13, Aaron Wiggins, 13. Who are some of your favorite plays on Yahoo at guard?
It's going to go John Morant, Dame, Russ Westbrook to spend up. Those guys are just cheap for their upside. If you want to spend down a little bit, I mean, Don Mitchell's fine, but Caleb Martin, only $13. I have no issues going to him. Makes a lot of sense. Derek White at 28. I like that. Emmanuel quickly is a $10. Kevin Pangos is a $10. These guys all stand out to me. I mean, Isaac Okoro, as gross as it sounds, if there's no Rondo there, you're just going to ask to play a ton of minutes like we saw tonight. They're not exciting plays.
Don't make me do that.
Even Hayward Highsmith's available in the player pool. He's also $10.
I got nothing for you. Let's click this. $10. All you'd have to do, new Yahoo users, deposit $10 or more, get 1 free month of Awesemo Plus Platinum. Do you like free things? That means yes, that's what we're looking for. Do you like free things? Ryan just said yes. Is that a yes?
I did.
Yep, you should. People didn't see the head shake. It's okay. You know what? Sometimes these promos are great. Sometimes they just fall out of the sky like this one. And here you go. But you can get every single free thing that we have behind the paywall for 1 month using this promo. Use promo code Awesemo. Head over there, deposit $10 or more. They'll send you a ticket. You send that back to us, and we get you set up. It's as simple as that. It's really not that complicated. So if you haven't had a chance to play Yahoo, go play at Yahoo now. Take advantage of this promo. Stop guessing, start winning. Join Awesemo Plus today. That was quick and efficient. Look at me go. Again, thank you so much for our sponsor, Yahoo. Best site you can play on for your bankroll. Lowest management fees. We appreciate them for existing, especially because, Ryan and I play. Ryan's very good, and he loves Yahoo, so you should be playing at Yahoo. Very, very hard not to be profitable when there's negative overlay. Let's head over to the forward spot here. LeBron James, 12K. I don't know. LeBron James just seems like he's going to go for like 69 plus every single time out lately. 12K makes you pause a little bit because like we're talking Jokic and Giannis territory. And, days of yore when Anthony Davis was there, we were used to paying 9,500 for LeBron James, but I guess he's just been a little too automatic, and going up against Portland, I don't see anybody that's going to provide a lot of resistance. I think we just play him there again. Jimmy Butler, he's the next guy who would be questionable at the forward spot. He's up to 10K here now against a putrid Houston team. At least they're on the road. Maybe that mitigates a little of the blowout risk, but all these guys from Toronto are coming back, and they're just too expensive there. I'm looking here. Mobley, 7,600. We've got Alec Burks, Kevin Love. We've got Powell. We've got so many guys here in this 6-7K range here. But for me, Obi Toppin, it is the season of Obi. Obi-Wan Kenobi, you're my only hope.
Yeah, I think Obi Toppin's great. We saw the Kevin Love starting at 6,700 and just balling out against an Atlanta team. Against a Washington team. He's playing Atlanta tomorrow. Or later today. So Kevin Love at 6,700. I like Anthony Edwards if he plays 7,800. Definitely a consideration. And LeBron James, you're going to spend up for him. You're going to need a lot, and he can definitely deliver that. So he's gone, I believe, 70 plus the last 2 games out. So he's earned every bit of that 12K price tag. But yeah, you highlighted Obi Toppin is great. Ibaka is going to be great as well. I think at $3,200. Power forward and center eligible. Ivica Zubac is in health and safety protocols. No Isaiah Hartenstein. It's going to be the Serge Ibaka show, taking on his former team, actually, the Raptors, if that means anything to you. I like him quite a bit.
Means something to you. You love your narratives.
I do. I got to have some fun while I play, right? So with Ibaka, I think expected to start. It might open up more minutes for some bench guys like Amir Coffey, Justice Winslow. All these guys potentially get an extra bit of that rotational run sprinkled him on. And Ibaka at $3,200 opens things up quite a bit, in my opinion. So going to him. And over here, Caleb Martin also has forward eligibility. $4,300 Caleb Martin can be a consideration as well.
Yeah, I'm very curious what's going to happen. I mean, Amir Coffey, did we talk about him?
Yeah, I just mentioned him with the potential of getting some extra minutes sprinkled on.
Yeah, it has to be. It has to be him. You have no Hartenstein. You have no Zubats, which is so sad for me, obviously. But
yeah, it's him or Winslow.
Yeah, be a mess. Yeah, I mean, Marcus Morris is going to play a lot of 4. I will say the one nice thing. I mean, it's not like there's a true 5. Kem Birch, Precious Achiuwa, Chris Boucher, whoever it is on the other side, Serge Ibaka is more than capable of matching up with them. There's no like big brawny center that we have to worry about. So I'm with you on that call. But yeah, Amir Coffey going to have to play more minutes. Marcus Morris, though, really sticks out for me at forward. I will say he's probably the most surprised I've ever been on a piece of ownership that I've seen in a long time. Had him projected like 9-10%. He was like 27% owned on DK the other night against Boston. So is what it is. Just wanted to point it out. Let's head on over to, did we just cover DK? Pretty much FanDuel. Moving on over there. Again, I'm a little just tired here. Again, the Nuggets. That's just a weird thing tonight. Thank God we didn't have to cover that game, do whatever else. But I was at that game courtside, just saying, throwing it out there. I didn't do anything. I feel fine. I'm just out of it. Here we go. Let's go to the forward spot on FanDuel. LeBron James, 11-2. That's too cheap. Jimmy Butler, 9K. That's really too cheap. We've got Anthony Edwards possibly back. We've got all these guys coming back from Toronto. Kevin Porter Jr., 7K. I was interested to see how many minutes he played right out of the gate. 34. It's a nice number of minutes to be getting out of him. He's definitely viable against Miami if you're trying to find a run back or somebody. If he plays 36, 38 minutes, that's interesting. Marcus Morris, 6,900. That makes a lot of sense here. But looking at power forward, Pascal Siakam, 8,300. He was kind of a key. He was in a lot of winning lineups over on FanDuel the other night. Him and your boy that ended up taking you to the top, Chris Boucher. But now with Fred VanVleet back, if he's going to be back, that's a problem. Christian Wood, 7,800. That still looks too cheap. He got there, put up 40 plus against the Lakers. I think this is an adequate spot for him as well. But Kevin Love, 7,300. If he's going to start here again, if he's going to be playing 29, 30, 32 minutes a night, I'm just going to keep jamming him. I jammed him tonight. I don't regret it whatsoever, but still didn't work out. Talk to me about the top end of forward, Ryan.
Top end of forward, I mean, LeBron James. It's LeBron James, and then there's Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler's, he's going to go $9,000. I like quite a bit. And if that game plays, I think it will, like we touched on. Those two guys are exceptional spend-up options. If you want to spend down a little bit, there's not that many exciting spend-down options. Great mid-tier options, a string of guys like Harrison Barnes, Norm Powell, Larry Nance. The Toronto guys are back, so they're not as appealing as they once were. Luke Kennard at 4,700 can be a guy who can spike an upside, who hasn't done it yet without Paul George. There'll be a game. Tyler Hero looks great at $6,700. Caleb Martin's too expensive for me at $5,800. Kevin Porter Jr. in that same game can definitely pan out for you. Though spending down is not that exciting, but Kyle Anderson, $4,900. I know it's slow-mo. It is what it is. You're going to get what you're going to get out of slow-mo. Just keep in mind of that situation. But great mid-tier options. Not necessarily you got to go all the way up. And Cam Reddish deserves another shout-out at $5,400. I expect the minutes still to be there. He just had a bad shooting game and just didn't do much peripherally-wise either.
Yep, that's very, very true. I'm looking FanDuel. Yeah, there's going to be value that shows up. We don't know. But Serge Ibaka 4K, just about impossible not to get to. Kevin Knox. We can find some Kevin Knox, right? No? Maybe? No, he's been out of the rotation. We probably won't need to be worrying about him. Just Obi Toppin, just jam a bunch, because Taj Gibson is going to be either starting or a lot of minutes. I'm hoping it's Obi Toppin. Can we just all do this together? Because that would be really fun to watch. But knowing Tibbs, it's going to be Taj, and then we're going to be very sad, because I think he's center only over there on FanDuel. Sure is, Ryan. All right, let's head on over to our sponsor, Yahoo. Round out this one. I just lost my tab. I'm going to stall. Everybody's going to not notice. LeBron James, $53 there on the top end. Jimmy Butler, 46. Anthony Edwards, Julius Randle out. Maybe Edwards comes back. We'll see. Pascal Siakam, 33. All of those dudes from Toronto. Evan Mobley, 28. We can continue to try to take shots there. Obviously this isn't a 3-game slate. You have more options, but I'm assuming more than 32 minutes. Norman Powell, 23. He's been garnering quite a bit of usage there. Played 42 and a half minutes the other night. That's a large allotment. But Luguentz Dort, $20. Would you be willing to fire him up considering his minutes allotment, projected usage, all the things? Ty Jerome, Aaron Wiggins, like whatever. But Luguentz Dort, is $20 too expensive for you on Yahoo?
$20 too expensive for me on Yahoo. Yes, if Shai Gilgeous-Alexander plays, it still is. I don't like playing Lu Dort ever. It's a personal bias.
I do too. I hate the guy. I just thought I'd ask you.
Good defender. He's obviously improved offensively, but I'll play him if there is no SGA. Power forward, we already know we're going to be spending down. Obi Toppin, Serge Ibaka, no JaVale McGee. It's the Jalen Smith show now in Phoenix as JaVale McGee has entered health and safety protocols. So that's the situation in the power forward spot. Small forward, guys like if you want to spend down, Nasir Little's still too damn cheap at $14. Had a disappointing game the other night, but I don't mind $14 Nasir Little whatsoever. If you want to spend up a little bit, Terrence Mann at $14 works out. I don't think it's necessary to go to Lu Dort. There's some guys who I prefer that are cheaper than him who have similar upside. Marcus Morris has $19. How can I not go to Marcus Morris instead of Lu Dort? It's just the situation there. I'm not really that excited to spend up. I think there's some strong spend down options for us to spend up elsewhere. The upside, the opportunity cost in the forward spot, you're going to miss out on guys like LeBron, Butler, Porzingis, who's in another great spot. But I think the value is so strong that I think we can make it up elsewhere.
I think you dropped Phoenix in, which is not on the main slate. So,
I'm
Jalen Smith. That. Yeah, it's okay. There's an early slate for everybody really excited to get some sweating in early on in the day. There's a number of sites. Let me see if Yahoo has any early stuff posted.
They have an all-day
get over to that. They have an all-day contest? Okay, so you can go play some all-day tomorrow. 10 total games that are being played. There's also a 6:30 p.m. Eastern time game. Let me pick that up, what that is. That's going to be Chicago and Indiana. Okay, so it's you've got Phoenix and Boston at 1 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Eastern, Chicago, Indiana, and then there's a 6 p.m. Eastern time, Dallas and Sacramento in Sacramento. So they've got an early game. Hey, Happy New Year's, everybody. Woo, there it is. So they're playing early. And then we have the 7-game main slate. So wanted to at least clarify that, JaVale McGee, not going to be applicable to the main slate, but still somebody, the JaVale McGee being out news, that is. Jalen Smith, massive play for the early slate. Pretty tough to miss that one, I think, for all of 2 games. But we shall see. They are going to have to like him going forward here. There's no other big body to throw out there. So let's keep it on moving here to our site. Yahoo we just talked about them at the forward position. You ready to go to center at DK and round this puppy out?
Yeah.
Yes, really. Okay. Karl Anthony Towns out. Julius Randle out. Jared Allen out. Anthony Davis out. Rudy Gobert, 9,500. Your first guy. Pascal Siakam, 9,300. Bam Adebayo out. Christian Wood, 8,600. Clint Capella, 8,300. I think looking at Capella makes a lot of sense. He played 30 minutes. They got slaughtered by Chicago. 14 points. It was a lot worse than that. So I will at least say that. Limited his minutes. I think he's got to play a boatload of minutes here for this Atlanta team tomorrow. There's just nobody else there to play any kind of minutes. Cameron Oliver had to play 18 minutes right out of the gate. He was 6 for 6 from the field. Congratulations to him. You won a prize. But Clint Capella, it's going to be really hard to not want to roster a little bit there, considering he should be projected to play legitimately 36 minutes against Mobley. Talk to me about center.
Yeah, Gobert is a spend-up option. Pascal Siakam is a spend-up option. We saw him just ball out the other night. Christian Wood, 8,600. Definitely should be a strong consideration. These guys are all great tournament options. You can't really pinpoint me wrong. I like Capella just because I feel like the minutes are definitely secure for him to play really well. I believe other guys who have center eligible that we should be having an eye on. Omer Yurt 7 in the Houston matchup, I think should be fine, barring any foul trouble. Expect a lot of minutes there. Kevin Love is fine. I don't necessarily want to go to guys like Alfred Şengün or Steven Adams. I think I would rather just spend all the way down to Serge Ibaka. Serge Ibaka is $3,200. And I know he can be played in the forward spot. There, you can get some super stud ceiling games out of guys like Gobert in a Minnesota matchup, but the opportunity cost of center with no Jokic, no Embiid, no one really that just like has like that borderline median projection of 50 points going into the slate. So it just feels like a nice, you can mix and match, spend down in the mid tier, and hopefully spike that mid 40 point ceiling performance out of some of these mid tier centers, guys like Love, Jakob Poeltl. Seems like that type of build right now as I think about things.
Yep. Looks like the exact same thing to me. Let's head over to FanDuel, because again, I have nothing to add to that. That's as good as it gets. Center position there, we've got Rudy Gobert 9,100, Clint Capella 8K. I think that stands out to me once again. Christian Wood 7,800, Chris Boucher 7,400. You can play obviously power forward or center there. Same thing with Love and Mobley and Jaren Jackson. Omer Yurt 6,100 there for him. Funny that that's in play, but it is Jakob Poeltl 6K that we're looking at for him. That price has come down a ways going up against Memphis. Not the most exploitable spot, but Mitchell Robinson and or Taj Gibson. Looking at this spot, Mitchell Robinson without Julius Randle, they're grabbing boards and doing whatever else. I don't know always what to make of the center split here with New York, but Nerlens Noel continuing to be out. If Taj Gibson starts alongside Mitchell Robinson, I think it might be an opportunity to roster some Mitchell Robinson against an OKC frontcourt. Just isn't that good. What do you think about him?
Yeah, I like Gunnar Mitchell Robinson just because of that block upside he has. It's an OKC matchup where I think he should be just fine. I have no issues doing that with Mitchell Robinson. Over here on FanDuel, you can take your chances on Adams at $4,800 against because of the $4,800 price tag here. One center only. It helps you spend up elsewhere. We haven't seen a Rashawn Holmes game yet since returning from injury. I feel like it has to happen at some point. Power forward center eligible. I've been chasing that for some time now. Omer Yurt 7, I like at 6,100. Man, Evan Mobley only 7K. Go figure. I think that's another position you can target. Not really super excited to spend all the way up. Gobert 9,100. I like Capella at 8K. Definitely like Capella compared to Miles Turner at that price tag. I like Capella at 8K on FanDuel, a decent amount.
As do I. Rudy Gobert, $39 over on Yahoo. Christian Wood, $31. Clint Capella, $29. Jakob Poeltl, I mean, again, Rudy Gobert, $39. Looks like it makes some sense, but you're going to have to pay for it. I got to say, though, Kevin Love at $20, probably your most underpriced player here at the center position. He should be very popular for good reason. What do you think about him on Yahoo specifically?
I love that price tag for Kevin Love. $20 Kevin Love. Just like, how can you not love that price tag?
I thought you were about to get explicit there for a second. You're like, oh, yeah.
It's Kevin Love and Omer Yurt 7 over there. Makes a lot of sense to me. Yurt 7 only 16. Definitely about that price tag. Going down the list here. No one really. Keep an eye. Just know that the situation in Minnesota is a three-headed center rotation. It's Reed, it's Monroe, it's Nathan Knight. Can one of them do it against Utah? Sure, but I don't have that much confidence in one of them being able to pull that off. So it's just an annoying situation. What's happening there in Utah, in Minnesota, just because I would like them to just play one significant amount of minutes, so we could potentially consider them as an option. But I guess we can't really go there. Miles Turner, $24. I think it makes a lot of sense against Chicago.
Yes, it does. Ryan, oh my gosh. This is like my first official year entirely at Awesemo.com. It's been an absolute blast. It was set up by you. You've done the things for me to be able to do this podcast. We started just a little bit over a year ago together. It's been a blast. I am going to tell you. So Yahoo, they only can go up to a 20-person contest, but I'm hoping to get more than 20 people in. Here's what we're going to do. I'm going to run a free roll on DraftKings because that, again, we don't have enough room for Yahoo. I'm going to give 2 months to whoever finishes first. I'm going to give 1 month to whoever finishes second. And if you finish third, we'll figure out something here at the end. But I want to give away those. And that's going to be from me personally, because again, you guys are the best. The requirement is, though, if you are going to claim it, you have to have your DK. I have to be able to reference that you have the 5-star review left on the Apple. And again, you can only leave it on Apple. In order to claim your 2 free months or 1 free month, you have to show me in my DMs, which are open on Twitter for, God knows what reason. Other than this, you have to show me that you left the 5-star review, and I will hook you up with it. Promise, guaranteed. It'll be done immediately because that's the kind of guy that I am. I get shit done. So I'm going to run a free roll on that over on DK. You know what? It's going to be as simple as that goes. So if you want to get into that, if you want to get into the free roll, I'm going to post it on Twitter. You can join. It'll be the listener league. We had some listener leagues last year.
We should run it on our sponsor, Yahoo.
Can we run it on Yahoo? Can we run more than 20?
I think you can create. How about you create a couple contests on Yahoo, and as each one fills, you can start giving out a winner to each different contest.
Look at that. So I'm going to have a listener league. So you can only enter one time. So enter in one of them. But our sponsor, Yahoo, that's what we're going to do. Ryan, good amendment to this entire thing. Hopefully nobody's just like skipping past this here. That would be useful. But we flew through this episode, so I'm not feeling too bad about that. But you can make up to a 20-person contest. We'll see if we can fill that. If we fill that, I will open another one. So yes, if you finish first, you will get 2 free months of that first one. The second one, if you finish first, or if there's less than 20 people, I'll give away 1 month on that. But Ryan, do you think that that's like a fair way of doing that? 2 and 1? Or should we go first? First, give 2 months no matter what.
Yeah, or we give out whatever you think is best. Well, the winner gets 2 months for each one you give out. I think we can definitely make that.
Check my Twitter tomorrow morning. I promise I will tweet out exactly what needs to get done. Oh my God, I apologize for butchering that. Again, I was trying to figure out how to get a contest of more than 20 people open here on Yahoo. Again, they've done such an amazing job.
We'll just run multiple 20-person contests. And
yep.
Please try to just keep it one. Just enter the contest once. So
I'll be able to look at
Slate Starter. Sorry,
I said I'll be able to look at both of them.
Yeah,
I'm opening them. So
additionally, it's been a great year. 2021. We got a full calendar year of sports. It's all obviously crazy times continue. Hope everyone stays safe in their new year. Please be responsible. Have fun. It's always a great day. Great festivities. I'll be glued to the TV, hoping to see a Michigan W. And more importantly, have fun. Enjoy your time with your friends and family. Have a ton of fun and ring in that new year. 2022 is already here. Wow, it's just been time just flies. Time goes by faster and faster as our days go along.
He's Ryan. He absolutely crushed in 2021. I'm Eric. I married my crush in 2021. We'll see you guys later.